When Arrowhead released the XO45 Patriot in Helldivers 2, they permanently changed my brain chemistry. I like mechs, but I don't like any kind of mechs. I like specifically this kind. In fiction, there's two kinds of bipedal robots. There's the humanoid, fast, flying, Gundam-like mechas. And then there's the more realistic, gritty mechs that don't often fly, they use their legs to walk across land slowly. And this is the kind that I like. They're gritty, they're lumbering. They often don't even have arms, they're weapons platforms. Their design reflects their utilitarian philosophy. The Gundam flying robots are cool, they have their place, but in a setting like Helldivers, their place is far away from me. A mech should be a slow, lumbering, mass-produced weapons platform. It needs to be a diesel-powered, walking beast that destroys the atmosphere as quickly as it destroys its enemies. And that's exactly what Helldivers 2 provided me with the XO45 Patriot. The moment this thing arrived, the entire rest of the game was ruined for me. I don't care at all what other weapons or armor or stratagems they introduce. My goal in the current update or any future update will be to use the Patriot exosuit or any new exosuit exclusively. My goal when playing this game is staying inside of the mech as long as possible. And in the future I hope that they give me more and more things that facilitate me doing that. I hope one day it's possible to make a mech pilot build. I hope there's a way to play that makes you more effective at piloting these mechs, but that this boost in efficacy comes at the cost of your ability to contribute to the team outside of the mech. Let me explain what I mean. The mech has a 10-minute cooldown after use, which means that using your mech well does not involve blowing all of your ammo all at once. At the very least, you need to be able to survive those 10 minutes. The mech needs to last 10 minutes and its ammo can't be depleted before then. You do this by playing carefully, not getting destroyed, not wasting your ammo on irrelevant targets, making good use of turrets on objectives, and knowing where to place them so your mech doesn't get caught in their crossfire. If you're playing with others, you should develop a sense for when you should intervene. Your ammo is more valuable than theirs is because it's limited, so if they're capable of dealing with something in front of them, let them. If you play well, the mech will not only last the 10 minutes it takes to get the next mech, it will last even longer. It is possible to be a credit to your team while being inside of the mech for 90% of the mission. However, going forward, what I would like them to introduce is the ability to sacrifice your ability to deal with things outside of the mech in exchange for being able to use the mech better. So for example, maybe they release a warbond that has armor and the armor effect is something beneficial to piloting a mech. Maybe it reduces the spread of the Gatling gun or makes the mech move a little faster, or passively repairs it slowly while you're inside of it. Something along those lines that gives me a boost while piloting my mech, but if I play badly and my mech gets destroyed or all of my mechs get destroyed, then I have to play the rest of the mission with an armor set that isn't giving me any benefit. So by choosing this armor, you're taking a gamble. Inside the mech, you're stronger. Outside the mech, you are lacking the beneficial effects that a different set of armor would have had. I would even be okay if the mech armor has some kind of negative attribute attached to it, like it having lower armor than other armor types of the same class, making it a straight detriment if your mech gets destroyed and you have to wait the 10 minutes for another one to appear. Likewise, I would love for there to be stratagems that augment my mech, but in exchange become useless if I play poorly. I would kill for a stratagem that you could take that would increase the number of mechs that you can bring to the battle. And it wouldn't have to do anything else, that's all it would need to do, even if it was just one more. I can absolutely make do with 3 mechs a mission, and it would be far from overpowered, because it would still need to respect the 10-minute cooldown. All you will have done is added another mech that you can summon. That one benefit could cost you a lot. That's a whole stratagem slot that you are foregoing. And there's still the potential that you get your mech destroyed. You can put yourself in a situation where you have to waste almost all of your ammo. An unlucky shot can blow off one of your arms, making it unusable. So I think sacrificing a stratagem slot for extra mech uses is very balanced. Similarly, maybe there should be a way to reload your ammo in exchange for another stratagem slot. And you can balance that how you want. Give it long cooldowns, give it a limited number of uses. Even if it was only 2, in combination, with the other stratagem that gives you an extra mech, and a way to reload your ammo. It would give you as the mech pilot a lot more freedom in how to approach things. You wouldn't have to be quite so stingy with your shots. It would free you up to roleplay as a mech pilot. And again, it would be balanced by the fact that it takes up a stratagem slot, and maybe if your mech is damaged and your arm is blown off, then you can't replenish ammo to that weapon. It wouldn't heal you, necessarily. It would just be an ammo stratagem, and then maybe you'd have to get out of the mech, grab the thing, load it up to the mech. Maybe that takes a little bit of time. Another way to balance it. So this really would be my dream situation. You have a stratagem that gets you the mech, a stratagem that gives you an additional usage for that mech but doesn't decrease the cooldown, a stratagem that lets you reload the mech but doesn't heal it or repair broken arms, and a suit of armor that makes piloting the mech better, but outside of the mech is less effective than even other armor of the same class. This creates the perfect situation I envision where I can be the mech pilot I've always wanted to be, but if I fuck up and get the mech destroyed, then I've wasted 3 stratagem slots on something that I can't use for the next 10 minutes. I have a weaker armor with no beneficial effects, and I'm just going to have to make do with that. I'm not asking for the game to be easier, I would just like there to be a way to make a build around this specialization. A way to effectively remain inside the mech as a pilot for the entirety of a long 40-minute mission. And maybe even have a ship module dedicated to the mechs. We have ship modules for almost everything else, all the other stratagems get benefits from it. Allowing the mechs to make use of the same resource would also give us something else to spend samples on, which is always a good thing. As you can tell from this video, I'm very enamored with how the mechs look and work. I genuinely believe that regardless of what else they add in the rest of the game, this is kind of my thing. I am dedicated to making the mechs work with whatever new weapons or enemies they add. And I hope that they will eventually release a bunch of stuff that will allow it to be a dedicated playstyle, a build. That's the end of this video. As always, thank you very much for watching.